The reason why humans are obsessed with gold? It's common knowledge that history develops gradually. Only after the invention of the wheel made a cart. Only after a cart comes, a wagon comes up. Only after the wagon comes, an automobile comes. This is referred to as sequential development. In this way, letters need to be invented, but they can be recorded. Law can be found when records are collected and data becomes available. Then you can understand the phenomenon based on the law. It can't be built in a few hundred years at the caves. But Sumerian civilization has created the highly advanced civilization that seems to have jumped through the middle stages. And then suddenly it disappeared. The ancient Sumerian region is now a region of the Iraq, which flourished between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. People started living in neighborhoods around 5000 BC, but there's nothing left to record. By the way, around 3500 BC, the new settlers start appearing in this area. And suddenly, a highly developed civilization was formed. It flourished over 1500 years, creating the foundation for Orient culture. So why is this remarkable? If you look at incremental progress, there is Egypt and ancient China. There is also the great civilization of the Indus. But if you look at Sumerian, you can realize their mystery is the best. Now, let me tell you something that's been discovered. 1. Sumerian laws specify labor laws that protect workers. 2. They elected the king through the implementation of the city and the election. It's not just tribal tribes. 3. They calculated solar eclipse and lunar. The precessional motion of the 25,000 years period was also calculated. It cannot be just watching for lunar eclipse as long as 25,000 years. 4. They had medical knowledge enough to cataract surgery. 5. City has lived in urban life. It requires very high levels of civil engineering. 6. Population of one city was between 4 and 50,000. It is very difficult to form order-oriented city about 3,000 years ago. 7. Clothes that used to wear fabric. In contemporary times, all other places are for leather. 8. Even though ancient civilization was destroyed, remains remained like Assyrian, Akkad, Caldera, Amor, etc. But Sumerians disappeared without the trace. Like they were vaporized. 9. Sumerians knew the existence of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. This is ridiculous. It's possible that a telescope until invented. 10. They knew about asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. 11. They recorded 12 planets including the Sun. Until half a century ago, modern civilization was known as ninth planet except the Sun. 12. Last 12th planet called Nibiru. Who were Sumerians and how did they know these things? And where did they disappear? So why the gold is so important to mankind? Since ancient times, mankind has become obsessed with the gold. Where did this kind of perverted greed come? Gold is a chemical element. In its purest form, it is a bright, slightly reddish yellow, dense, soft, malleable, ductile metal and excellent electrical conductivity. Since ancient times, humans have been used gold as ornaments. And modern equipment has become an excellent precursor to advanced conduction. In ancient times, gold daggers were discovered in ancient Mesopotamia civilizations, followed by gorgeous gold ornaments in ancient Egypt. And Greece and Rome used the gold coins. Zecharia Sitchin has come to claim that main reason why ancient alien visitors come to Earth is to excavate the Earth's gold. Zecharia says that ancient aliens in his book came to Earth from outside of outer space when their planet's gold was depleted. He discovered fact that comprehension of clay tablets in the Sumerian civilization. Sitchin is an archaeologist and scholar who is famous for the actual model of Indiana Jones. He's also a Freemason member, but reading his writings can analogize the mindset of Freemason and attitude toward humanity. And the interesting thing about the mining process of this ancient alien visitor is that these alien visitors created the current human race to make mining work. Basically, it means treating human beings as for use. They made that Neanderthal man evolved into better species called Homo sapiens. This became famous intelligent design theory, so the human race worked as a laborer for aliens, and they treated them as gods. Until recently we see that Neanderthals and Homo sapiens can't mix blood with different species. However, there was a recent announcement by the British Science Journal, saying, most of the men are mixed with Neanderthals. Interesting thing about the study is that cross-section is Middle East region. There was Mesopotamian civilization, Sumerian, and Egyptian civilization. This is no accident. So, why is gold precious to their alien visitors? In our modern civilization, electricity is the most important resource. The most outstanding material of the electric conductivity is gold, which is the valuable resource for fine microelectronics. More advanced civilization treats it more valuable. Meanwhile, some scholars in the history of civilization have wondered, why our humanity is obsessed with the gold, that is not practical than real food or commodities. The claims of these related are clear. For pleasuring their god. It is recorded on clay tablets, which was excavated from Babylonia. In addition, stories such as Egypt, Maya, Incas, and others are known. Spanish people who invaded the 15th century America's Inca civilization stole all the gold products that Incas kept dedicating to God. But what shocked them was Inca people didn't have the know-how to dig gold. It turns out they have saved gold from the river and saved them without any practical use. Interestingly, most of the world known as the famous place to visit alien is known as large deposits of gold. It turns out that there are gold mines in the Nazca Lines in Peru, which is famous for its Nazca Lines. The historic sites of southern African mines, which remain the mystery, are now being discovered. To our surprise, one of the mines is 25,000 years old. This is the discovery of mining techniques that could not be found in the history of the Paleolithic age. These ancient alien theorists claim that civilization was helped by alien visitors. After mining gold, they return to their planet, leave behind this awkward civilization. And one of the more interesting arguments is gold can generate energy. It can generate electricity due to thermal effects caused by thermoelectric. That's why gold can be a very pure source of energy, and that's why they need it. Because of these all reasons, the value of gold is so overvalued compared to times. Gold is an important factor in modern civilization. From Sumerian to the Roman era, the reason for the desire of human ownership and obsession with gold is that, as an alien follower, it reflects the needs of the master, called Anunnaki. By 550 BC, parts of Anunnaki went back to their planet Nibiru, and rest of them died on Earth. Zecharia Sitchin achieved fame worldwide through his The 12th Planet. His book seems to be a fantasy novel filled with adventure and fantasy. But the content was almost verified academically. His book became a huge hit and became million seller from 25 countries across the globe. He was invited to the Bilderberg Conference, which proves the importance of his book. Sitchin's writings are based on a unique interpretation of Sumerian, that ability to decipher the Sumerian, and his own knowledge of Arabic dialect. The truth about Sumer and Anunnaki is so irrefutable that academic circle and the Christian are not challenging. The reason of obsessing over gold reminded us of the historical fact that planetary cataclysm happens. Our efforts toward our origins make us more aware of ourselves. The origins of humankind in Sumerian myths. We were obviously aliens' kids. But now we are not. We have the ability to think about ourselves and have enough intelligence. All beings are equal. If you're obsessed with a religion or a materialism, it's like putting yourself in childhood as their intention. If you recognize yourself through Sumerian myths, you would like to be master of yourself. The next video that I will upload is about very interesting myths written on the Sumerian tablet. Here are some of the contents. The first tablet: the worlds of the Lord Enki, firstborn son of Anu, who reigns on Nibiru. With heavy spirit I utter laments, laments that are bitter fill my heart. In its glorious cities, only the wind howls, death is the only smell. A secret from the olden times to the Menlil was revealing, the weapons of terror to their hands entrusting. Clad with terror, with a brilliance they are unleashed, all they touch to a dust heap they turn. For brother against brother on earth they were forsworn, neither region to affect. Now the oath was undone, like a broken jar into useless pieces. On all the lands, from west to east, a disruptive hand of terror was placed. The gods, in their cities, were helpless as men.